My beloved child, you have not come upon these words through meaningless coincidence, but because you are standing before a season of transition that heaven has been quietly preparing for a very long time. Among countless voices, you paused in the right place. Among countless paths, your steps were guided to the appointed meeting point. I want you to understand that there are moments that cannot be explained by chance, because behind them is an unseen hand arranging, protecting, and drawing you closer to what you need to hear. What is unfolding within you now is a sign that an old season is coming to an end, while another door is being opened through wisdom beyond your present sight. You may not yet see the entire road, but I can see every stage ahead. And I have come to remind you that you have never been forgotten during the time when you believed you were standing still. I know that you have carried burdens few people have truly understood. There were nights when you stared silently into the darkness, trying to comfort yourself while unspoken questions continued to rise within you. There were mornings when you awakened, appearing calm on the outside. Yet inwardly, you had to gather every remaining ounce of courage simply to keep moving forward. Many times, you wondered why the answer was taking so long. Why doors that seemed about to open suddenly closed again. And why you were required to be patient longer than others. I have seen it all. I saw the tears you hid, the prayers you could not yet put into words, and the moments when you wanted to surrender but still chose to rise again. Not one of your quiet efforts has been overlooked, and not one day of waiting has been wasted. What you call delay is sometimes protection, because I do not want to place something immature into your hands only for it to become another burden. Now you must allow your heart to become still, because the things that once frightened you are gradually losing their power to control you. The voice that repeatedly told you that you were not good enough, strong enough, or worthy enough will no longer be permitted to define you. You are not the sum of your failures, nor are you the distorted image that pain once painted of you. You are the one who was preserved through storms, shaped in silence, and prepared during seasons when no one was watching. Those difficult days deepened your discernment, taught you to recognize what is genuine, helped you treasure peace, and freed you from chasing everything that merely shines on the surface. I did not allow pain to become your name. I transformed it into a teacher. And then I led you out of that classroom with wiser eyes and a steadier heart. You are drawing near to a change that will not only touch your circumstances, but will also renew the way you see yourself. What is about to open will require you to stop thinking like someone who is always lacking and begin walking like one who is being cared for. Provision does not always appear in the form you imagined. Sometimes it comes through a clear idea in the middle of confusion, sometimes through a person who is guided to you at precisely the right moment, sometimes through a small opportunity carrying the seed of long-term expansion. At times, support arrives through a door closing, releasing you from a path that would have exhausted you. At other times, the greatest gift is discernment, helping you recognize who should remain, what must be released, and which step must be taken without delay. Therefore, do not confine heaven's care to a single form. Enlarge your vision, because I can use roads you have never considered to bring the resources you need into your life. I also want you to understand that the opening ahead is not a reward for having lived a perfect life, but the result of a process through which you have been trained to receive without losing yourself. In the past, if a great opportunity had come too early, You might have allowed fear to make your decisions or impatience to damage something good. But now you have learned to wait without ceasing to grow, to remain kind even after being misunderstood, and to continue doing what is right even before seeing the result. These lessons are not small. They are the foundation that will enable you to enter the next season with calmness, humility, and wisdom. You will no longer rush to grasp everything simply because you fear missing out. You will know the difference between what truly aligns with you and what merely excites you for a moment. When resources begin to appear, receive them with gratitude, but never allow them to become your master. What is entrusted to you is not only meant to lessen your personal difficulties, but also to make you a channel of support for others. I want you to learn to manage what you receive with wisdom, neither wasting it to prove your worth, nor holding it too tightly because you fear tomorrow. Use what you have to build, heal, protect, and sow hope. When you are faithful with small things, your capacity to carry greater things will expand. When you honor a humble opportunity, you will be prepared to walk through greater doors. True abundance is not measured by how much you possess, but by whether your heart is no longer ruled by scarcity and whether your hands can remain open even after you have endured seasons of very little. Perhaps you are still looking at your present circumstances and wondering where the evidence of change can be found. I tell you that great transformations often begin through very small movements. It may be a sense of peace appearing in a place where confusion once ruled, a clear decision after months of hesitation, or a gentle prompting that leads you to begin again what you once abandoned. Do not despise these quiet beginnings. A river begins with small springs, and a great harvest once existed only as seed hidden beneath the soil. What cannot yet be seen is not necessarily absent. It may already be growing. In the realm beyond the reach of ordinary sight, connections are being restored, delays are being removed, and the right doors are being prepared to open at the appointed time. Your part is to continue walking with integrity, remain watchful, and refuse to return to the place from which I have already led you. Therefore, do not make yourself small simply because the past disappointed you. Do not allow a few rejections to convince you that every door will remain closed. Do not let the unloving judgments of others become the standard by which you measure your future. I am teaching you to stand firm without fighting to be recognized, because what truly belongs to you will not require you to sacrifice your peace in order to keep it. The right relationships will come without demanding that you betray your values. The right opportunities will open without requiring you to become a false version of yourself. The resources you need will appear together with the guidance required to use them wisely. I do not lead you into a place only to leave you struggling there alone. Wherever I direct you, I also prepare sufficient help for the journey. Move forward with a faith that has been refined, not an impulsive faith resting only upon emotion, but a quiet assurance that you are being guided day by day. When you cannot see the distant road, take the nearest step. When you do not understand the entire plan, remain faithful to what is right before you. When old anxiety returns, do not hold a long conversation with it. Remember the times you were preserved and the roads you believed you could never finish. Yet somehow you still reached the other side. I am with you not only on the day of victory, but also in every hour when you are learning to stand again. And now, as the burden begins to grow lighter, as your vision becomes clearer, and as new resources begin to find their way toward you, Prepare to receive them with a humble heart. This is not the time to continue questioning your worth. This is the time to enter what has been prepared for you, carrying the maturity of past years, the peace of the present, and a pure hope for tomorrow. My beloved child, what the world hastily calls good fortune is often the harvest of years you spent faithfully sowing in silence. A door opening unexpectedly does not mean it was created in a single moment. Often, it has been prepared over a long period through every time you chose to rise again. Every day, you kept moving when no one applauded. And every moment you remained faithful to what was right while the results were still unseen. I have witnessed all of it. I saw every time you lifted yourself after disappointment. Every night you had to comfort your weary heart. And every morning you stepped forward calmly, even though many questions within you remained unanswered. Therefore, when goodness comes to you, do not think it has arrived by accident. It is finding the one who has been trained deeply enough to appreciate, protect, and use the gift with wisdom. There were seasons when you felt that you were moving far too slowly, while others seemed to advance continually ahead of you. You watched people who appeared to make less effort receive recognition sooner, while those who had only recently begun quickly received opportunities you had desired for many years. This caused you to wonder whether you were on the wrong path, whether your perseverance had any meaning, or whether your quiet efforts would disappear like drops of water falling upon dry ground. I understand that feeling, because I was beside you in every silence. When you believed you had been forgotten, I was still watching. When you thought no one noticed your devotion, I was using those ordinary days to build within you a foundation that sudden success could never create. Slowness is not always a sign of failure. Sometimes it is protection, keeping you from stepping into a wide place before your feet are strong enough to stand there. You must understand that the seasons that seemed silent were never empty. During them, you learned how to work without depending on praise, how to remain upright before seeing a reward, and how to keep growing even when no one stood beside you to encourage you. These are the qualities now setting you apart. Talent may cause others to look toward you for a moment, but depth is what causes them to entrust you with something valuable. Ability may open a conversation, but steadiness is what keeps a door open over time. Therefore, I have not only been preparing an opportunity for you, I have also been preparing you for the opportunity. If I had placed something great into your hands while you were still dependent upon approval, you might have lost your direction. If I had lifted you while you had not yet learned how to remain peaceful under pressure, the very height of your position could have caused you to lose your balance. Because I love you, I did not allow impatience to determine your appointed time. A day will come when you enter a place filled with talented people, powerful voices, and remarkable abilities. At first, you may think there is nothing special about you that could attract attention, but do not rush to diminish your value. Those who truly possess vision are not merely captivated by outward noise. They quietly observe how a person responds to difficulty, how that person behaves when there is nothing to gain, and how that person reacts when overlooked. They notice who remains calm under pressure, who does not need to step upon others to prove their ability, and who continues to do excellent work even when their name is never mentioned. In the moments when you believe no one is paying attention, your character is often speaking most loudly. Your consistency is telling a story that even the finest introduction could never replace. I want you to remember that great opportunities are not only searching for talented people, they are searching for people who can be trusted. Many know how to make an impression in the first moment, but very few know how to preserve their character through long and difficult days. Many speak beautifully when everything is easy, but not everyone remains kind when misunderstood, honest when deception could be hidden, or calm when faced with a difficult choice. Your hidden seasons taught you lessons no school could fully impart. You learned to listen before reacting, to keep your word even when no one was checking, and to complete what had been entrusted to you even when emotion no longer supported you. This maturity makes you valuable in the eyes of those who possess deep discernment. They are not only looking at what you can do today, they are looking at the person you have become through everything you have overcome. Therefore, when a person of influence begins to notice you, when an invitation appears, or when your name is mentioned in a room you have never entered, do not panic and do not assume that you are unworthy. Others may see only the moment in which you are chosen, but I have seen the entire journey that brought you there. I saw every time you patiently learned while having no opportunity to display your ability. I saw how you corrected yourself after mistakes instead of blaming others. I saw you reject shortcuts that could have brought quick advantage but would have damaged your dignity. I saw you continue developing your gifts even when there was no guarantee they would ever be used. None of these things has been wasted. Together, they have become silent evidence that allows those with vision to recognize that you are not only ready to walk through the door, but steady enough to remain once you are inside. Do not allow the slow days of the past to become a reason for doubting your future. Those very days formed endurance, wisdom, and humility within you. If everything had come too easily, you might have failed to appreciate its value. If you had always been supported by recognition, you might never have discovered who you were when the applause stopped. But now you have learned to stand without depending upon a crowd. And that is a gentle strength no one can take from you. You know how to handle small responsibilities well. So, when greater things are entrusted to you, you will not treat them carelessly. You know what it feels like to be overlooked. So, when you are given influence, you will not make others feel invisible. You remember the years when opportunities were scarce. So, when you have the power to open a way for others, you will do so with gratitude rather than pride. I also want you to remain careful when the new season begins. Do not turn advancement into a place where you attempt to prove that those who underestimated you were wrong. Let the results speak for themselves while you continue walking with quiet dignity. Do not carry bitterness through the newly opened door, because the new should not be burdened by old wounds. You do not need to take revenge upon the past. You only need to live in a manner worthy of the present. Use your influence to support others, your voice to sow hope, and your abilities to create what is good. True success is not found in how many people know your name, but in how many people are encouraged through you to believe that their own faithfulness is not meaningless. When you preserve a tender heart while being elevated, what I give you will become more than an opportunity. It will become a blessing flowing through your life into the lives of many others. Now stop calling your hidden years wasted years. Not one sincere tear has been forgotten. Not one honest effort has disappeared. And not one time you chose to continue while exhausted has been in vain. All of it has contributed to the person you are today. The door ahead may astonish others, but to me, it is simply the right time for what has been cultivated long enough. Walk through it with peace. neither rushing nor becoming proud, and neither exalting nor belittling yourself. You do not need to be the loudest person in the room in order to be seen. You only need to remain steady, sincere, and trustworthy. What belongs to you will recognize you. Those who need to see you will see you. And the right opportunity will arrive when you have become mature enough to turn it into something good. I did not cause you to wait without purpose. I used the waiting to make you ready. You have sensed the quiet movement drawing near to your life. Even though your eyes cannot yet see it fully, and your hands have not yet touched the final result. A gentle awakening is spreading through the deepest places within you, like a soft wind stirring a door that has remained closed for too long, announcing that the former season is gradually withdrawing to make room for a greater journey. You do not need to force yourself to explain every feeling now arising, because some things are recognized through peace before they are understood by reason. I have placed within you a quiet assurance so that you may know that your waiting days were not meaningless emptiness, that the things you silently endured have not disappeared into forgetfulness, and that every step you continued to take when no one was watching has been remembered. You are no longer standing in a place where you must beg for one small sign in order to keep believing. You are entering a season in which visible results themselves will answer the questions that once troubled you. However, I want you to understand that great change rarely begins with glorious sounds. Often, it begins with a door closing, a relationship slowly growing distant, a plan that seemed to be progressing suddenly, changing direction, or a silence that causes you to question yourself. You once viewed these things as losses, but I saw them as necessary refinement. Some things were suitable for a former stage of your journey, yet they cannot accompany you into the place where I am leading you. Some things you continued to hold were not bringing peace, but you feared the emptiness that might appear after letting them go. I allowed certain old anchors to be removed from your life, not so that you would drift without direction, but so that you could finally leave a harbor that had become too narrow. Their departure does not prove that you were rejected. It reveals that I am adjusting your direction with a wisdom you cannot yet fully perceive. When you look back at the pressures that surrounded you, you will recognize that they did more than exhaust you. They also revealed a strength you never knew you possessed. The days of being misunderstood taught you not to build your value upon the opinions of others. The lonely seasons taught you to listen to the voice within rather than follow the crowd. The times you had to begin again helped you recognize which foundations were truly secure and which things merely appeared beautiful on the surface. I did not delight in your pain, but I possess the power to transform broken places into openings through which light may enter. During the seasons when you believed you were being delayed, I was quietly increasing your inner capacity. What is about to be entrusted to you requires more than hands willing to receive. It requires a heart mature enough to preserve it. Use it wisely, and remain free from its control. I am not preparing you to possess more, only to lose yourself. I am preparing you to hold abundance while remaining gentle, humble, and grateful. What I am opening before you is not concerned only with providing enough for your personal needs. You are being called to restore order in places that have long been ruled by disorder, and to establish a new foundation where your family has become accustomed to scarcity, fear, or harmful decisions repeated across generations. You are not being lifted merely to stand higher than others. You are being lifted so that you may see farther, serve more deeply, and open a pathway for those who come after you. The prosperity I give is not an ornament for pride, but a tool through which you may heal, build, protect, and sow lasting seeds. You will learn to manage rather than merely consume, to distinguish between temporary attraction and enduring value, and to use resources to create shelter, opportunity, knowledge, and hope. When you understand this purpose, you will no longer fear increase, because you will know that what comes to you is not meant to end with you. Therefore, do not regard the past years as time stolen from your life. I used every season to form within you an endurance that rapid success could never create. When you had to work without seeing a reward, you learned faithfulness. When you had to continue while the promise still seemed far away, you learned to walk without depending upon emotion. When you were required to live with less than you desired, you learned to recognize what was truly necessary. These lessons are invisible treasures that will keep you from becoming overwhelmed when the great door opens. Some people pray to be lifted, but have not learned how to stand. Others desire to receive much, but do not know how to care for little. But through the hidden months and years, I have taught you that every increase carries responsibility. Every measure of influence requires vigilance, and every privilege needs a heart that knows how to bow. From this moment onward, you must change the way you walk. Do not continue behaving like someone who constantly fears being left behind. Do not make decisions from the memory of previous disappointments. You are no longer in the season of standing at the threshold and asking whether you are permitted to enter. I am teaching you to live with the posture of one who has been entrusted with a clear assignment. This does not mean that you should become proud or impulsive. It means that you act with steadiness, prepare carefully, and no longer diminish yourself merely to make others comfortable. Take care of what is already in your hands. Bring order to your time, your words, your finance, and your relationships. Close the pathways through which your strength is continually drained. Stop delaying the things you know must be completed. The preparation you make today is the vessel that will receive what I pour out tomorrow. You must also remember that this transformation may cause some people to misunderstand you. When you begin establishing healthy boundaries, those who were accustomed to your constant surrender may accuse you of changing. When you become serious about your calling, those who prefer you to remain small may feel threatened. When you no longer participate in conversations that weaken faith and courage, certain relationships may naturally grow distant. Do not return to the old garment merely to be accepted. You do not need to fight anyone, nor do you need to explain yourself endlessly. Allow the peace, maturity, and fruit of your life to speak. What truly belongs to you will never require you to betray the values I have placed within your heart. Those appointed to walk beside you will not fear the light within you. They will help you keep it pure. I am leading you into a season where long preparation begins to meet the right opportunity, where abilities that were once hidden will find an environment in which they can flourish. Former rejections will no longer have the power to define your future. Limitations you once believed were permanent will gradually be replaced by a broader vision. There are meetings I will arrange, ideas I will awaken, and doors that will appear in ways you could never force through your own strength. But you must keep your heart calm, because not every opportunity belongs to you, and not every light leads in the right direction. Choose what brings clarity rather than confusion. Choose what nourishes your purpose rather than merely satisfying excitement. Choose what allows you to grow without causing you to lose the purity within you. Wisdom will protect the blessing that is being opened. When the first results begin to appear, do not forget how you were sustained during the days when no one knew your name. Remain grateful when your hands become fuller. Remain kind when your voice begins to carry greater weight. And keep your feet steady when many people begin looking toward you. I did not lead you through deep seasons merely for you to become cold when you entered a spacious place. I want you to become living evidence that a person can receive much and still love deeply, can possess influence and still listen, and can stand in a high position while remembering those who are weary below. What I am building in your life is not a brilliant moment that quickly disappears, but a legacy formed through faithfulness, wisdom, and generosity. Therefore, receive the stirring within your heart as the announcement of a dawn drawing near. Do not fear the spaces that have recently appeared, because I am using them to make room for what is new. Do not mourn what can no longer accompany you, because I do not remove what is truly necessary for your calling. Do not doubt the value of your hidden years, because it was there that you were prepared to remain steady in the midst of increase. I am leading you out of the posture of one who merely longs to be rescued from scarcity and placing you in the position of one who can become a source of support for many others. Walk with humility without diminishing yourself, with faith without haste, and with hope while remaining watchful. What is moving toward you is not merely a change in circumstances, it is an expansion of responsibility, vision, and your capacity to serve. I was with you in the days when you sowed seed through tears, and I will also be with you when you begin to see the fields bursting into bloom.